what's up everybody? GleeCon back in the house again, bringing you another episode of Lore of Warcraft. In the last episode we dug deep into, got near the end of our Felwood completionist walkthrough on Horde. This is our classic walkthrough, and really it's kind of like half walkthrough and half we do everything together. So we're going to see every little piece of in-game dialogue and lore together. That's the goal of this, and we're all the way up through Felwood. We should hopefully finish today. It might make this episode run a little long, but my goal is to finish Felwood on Horde today. We've already finished an Alliance, so stay a while and listen as we get to that. The reason it's taking so long is because all we really have left is the grind to neutral with the Timber Maw. You cannot finish the zone technically, because technically, if you look at your map, when you're running through Timber Maw Hold, that is considered Felwood. You're still zoned into the Felwood chat channel. And so Wowhead and a lot of the categorization categorizes most Timber Maw Hold quests. The problem is, as Felwood, but the problem is that it doesn't consistently do so. It actually has a Timber Maw Hold category. And then, as we know, some of them are Winter Spring quests. We actually do have a Winter Spring quest left to do, Wild Guardians 3. I saved us one real quest just for fun. But we are working on 1,300 rep. That's the name of the game today. We need to get that 1,300 rep and then go kill 10 Berserk Owl Beasts. So that's the goal for today. So we're going to go start working on that right now. That guy looks like they are getting into some business. So here we go. We will go ahead and fight this guy. Let's set up a little base because... why not? He's going to potentially call for help, and that might increase our difficulty. Now, I was getting, having a little bit of a better effect by not dropping the lightning shield. Actually, in a vacuum, Searing Gorge is better. Okay, so, I mean, not Searing Gorge, Searing Totem. Hang on, I keep clicking my totems back. That's why you don't click. Well, you're not a clicking fool like me. Work with the Chosen. So yeah, we are going to be checking. Remember, we did the math, and hypothetically, there's about a 0.47 or 47% chance, 0.47 chance of getting a whatchamacallit, a Deadwood feather. Sorry, brain's still processing all this sensory input here from our questing. Let's adjust the nugs. Alright, so we got one feather. Rather than using any healing, let's actually start by eating. Let's get a buff going on here. Let's see what we got. Alright, so the feathers basically count as 10 reps, so we've got 20 reps so far. Our staves are 1 point away from maxing out. We're going to need more of that ASAP. Alright, so that's cool. Let's pull some of these other guys. I'm on the fence about whether or not I want to keep this going. When I'm at full mana for sure, but really if we want to stay balanced on mana, kind of need to not be dropping those. I think it's nice to drop my totems. I mean, it's not... I think if I'm above 75%, I will go ahead and use my lightning shield. Somehow my mana dropped. Okay, there we go. So that's basically another 15. So we were at 20, so we're at about 35. Come to me, fool. Okay. And the healing is really what's going to take us down when we have to spend on healing. I am liking my little base. Okay. So that's basically 40 total rep. None's too shabby. Keep this going too. And I think I'll have to drop the healing. There we go, like another 15 rep, or, yep, there. So we're maybe around 55 if you're counting those feathers separately. But what we'll do, I'll try to keep that count going. But really what we need to do is think about it. See, this says I'm at 96.2%. That's health, though. I see. It's not giving me my mana. I want my mana percentages. So I'll just have to eyeball what I think 35% looks like. Another thing that... Oh, my. There's Chieftain Blood Maul. Let's see. I might end up pulling that guy. I'll pull him after. Cool. He can't. He evaded. Okay. Alright. Who is that? That is a dwarf priest. So, not the faction that I'm looking for. Oh, that's okay. That's a den watcher from right here. Alright, what's low? All my totems are gone? Okay. We'll move this. We will move this over here a little bit. All the totes wore off. We're going to look at some of the Warcraft lore conversation today, too. That's going to be part of how we kill this time. Yesterday I spent a lot of time kind of talking it out. Okay, so what are we at for headdress feathers? Dang it. We're at 4. So I liked what we did last episode where I basically, every time we got 5, I did a... oh, he resisted. Good job. I did a check-in. Come on. You... Yeah, so every time I got close, I did a check-in on, like every time we got 5, which I knew we could turn in for 50, we did an overall check-in for where were we at right now. And I would imagine every time we do that, we're going to be somewhere around 75, 80, probably 80-ish more rep than we were before. Come on. Yeah, I see my mana and fire are out. Okay. We'll just keep kind of moving our way. So that's what they tried to pull before. We can try this if we want. It's just, we decide to go this route. We are really... We are... Oh no, they hit me with a curse, man. That stinks. I literally hate that so much. Because now I've gotta... There we go, I'll get that one now. I might have to use a potion. Oh man, that potion really did nothing for me because of that curse. Yikes. Okay, but I did get to kill. That's good. We can now move this up. Buys us another spot, especially since the rune cloth is stacking up, is what I was gonna say. All right, so we did kill one of those guys. I'm gonna need to pause and eat for a minute. Did I loot that guy? Oh no, he's right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring my mana up. Yeah, there's not a lot I can do with that. I don't have any great sources of... Like, I can try, but as you can see, like, it's actually going to only heal me half that. Yeah, it's lame. Okay. We'll set another base. I think I can fight this guy right here. And then hopefully the 30 seconds more or less going after this. Let's see, we have a Den Watcher, a Shaman. We have that Avenger back there. Maybe I'll go for that Avenger back there. It's just fun. This guy is worth, I think, triple also. He's worth 15 instead of the normal 5, so fun to get those guys. Yeah, why did the fire... Maybe I just didn't put that down the first time. What am I fighting, 2 or something? Oh, I ignored the freaking curse. Gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Why? Just why? Dumb. I cannot believe I let that curse hit me again. I was just too distracted. I just don't even know. I mean, I could do a Morning Glory Dew. So we could do a heal. Actually, let's drop a healing stream totem here, and I'll drink a Morning Glory Dew. I've done kind of poorly on my strategizing, letting myself get cursed twice in a row. Well, the first time it wasn't a let, that was just bad luck. When you pull the whole pack like that, something's going to happen. Alright, so while we're doing this, let's talk about some of our conversation topics that I think is interesting questions. One thing that Yeah, so what we talked about last time to kind of fill the space was we kind of did a breakdown of how we're gonna make characters in the kind of lead up to Legion, because everything kind of has to go through this Legion lens. Got some good hits on that. There we go, we got a feather. Alright, so with 50 rep, we are really at 1805. So 1805, we've gained 105 rep so far today. That's not very good. Alright, so now the healing buff is finally... the healing curse is off. Alright, so, he just came in here. They're going after me, though, not the totem, which is good. Oh, I got hit by the curse. I don't know what the heck. I thought I interrupted. He must have resisted my interrupt. That is lame. To the maximum. Little... That's one of those little inside jokes. You know how over time with family you will have an inside joke situation. One of the best parts of family, I suppose. Might have told this story already before, I can't remember, but to the maximum is one of my family internal jokes that we say, or that particularly me and my wife will say. Alright, so he pulled that one, so that was good. He peeled that one off. Alright, so we are now going to go right after the chieftain this time. Because that dude will sit back and shoot lightning at me. Should be able to get this one going pretty good. The curse is what it is. Trying to get a heal. Even though it's only going to heal half effectiveness, it's better than nothing. Yikes. Okay, so now it's just me and this guy. What can we do? I can use a potion if needed. There we go. I can also hit him with that, and then hit him with this. And now my... well-fed buff is off, so I can also drop that without being too stressed about it. Yeah, so that guy is worth 15 rep. Yippee skippy. Alright, we're going to eat another one of these, and I'm going to go ahead and drop another Morning Glory Dew. I'm just going to use them. You're full right now, so we do have to consider... I guess I'll drop this. I like to keep one bag open. We'll drop that bad boy. And I want to sort of... It never gets old until I actually sit down and write it down. Like, there's all kinds of things that I just can't answer right now. In terms of our overall progression, I gotta kind of see the timeline of how things work out. How far do I get ahead of things? At some point in time, so here's some back of the mind potential, hey, this is the future for us. There might come a time when it's practical for us to start doing some side episodes where we cover achievement hunting. Achievement hunting is near and dear to my heart, and I would absolutely get on board with some achievement hunting. Especially as a time killer or whatever, like a time filler. Like, hey, we are at such and such a point, I'm not ready, haven't done whatever yet, so let's get started with it. But that I have to kind of work on the logistics of that. Of course, we have a lot of lore coming up. Dang it! What did you kill? Which one? Wait. Oh, you're just taking them out. Just taking out totems left and right. Okay. Fine. That's because I killed a Den Watcher. A Den Watcher was nearby. They called for help. We're doing okay with our shooting and damaging. Just checking the meters. There you go. We got another feather. So we're up to 7. Yeah. So that's one potential thing. We do have to do everything through the lens of eventually, like, I have to kind of see what do we need to consider for each expansion. So before we start talking about the little lore, the lore questions from the mailbag kind of. What, we know Classic, we're doing it right now. Alright, so Burning Crusade, the only thing we really have to consider is, yeah, there's a different storyline for both Horde and Alliance. I believe there are some differences, because there's so much PvP. So, my gut tells me, yeah, there's some differences. Second, there are the Aldor and Scryer. There's that combination of stories. And so we're gonna have to consider that, but still, that means we could accomplish those 2 pairs of things, like with one character each. We looked at this set of we looked at the set of zones, and it looks like Burning Crusade is more or less we should be able to get with 1 character. There's also 2 new starting zones that are, yeah, so there's a new starting and secondary zone for Burning, for Blood Elves and for Draenei, so we basically have to start, we don't have to start as a Burning, we don't have to start as those, you can go do those zones, but to get the full experience we should, because there's a couple quests in each zone that you can only do if you are those races, so kind of written how we'll approach Burning Crusade. Now, for Wrath of the Lich King, we will have to have a Death Knight so that we can do the Death Knight starting campaign. I don't know if it's different on Alliance or Horde, but there are different Alliance and Horde quest lines for sure. And you can kind of start in one of 2 zones. There's the Borean Tundra, and there's... maybe it's called, like... I want to say something with Valor, or... I don't remember exactly what the other one's called off the top of my head. But there are 2 starting zones. But I don't think there's anything that precludes you doing from all of the quests in both starting zones. I will look at... let's see. I'll look at... oh, look, there's a corrupted Songflower. This is the whole reason why we kept... and it's Songflower, we can get a 30-minute buff right now, or it might be an hour-long buff. Heck yeah. That's why... this is exactly why I kept these salves. Thank goodness. Get a nice fat buff for our grinding here. Yeah, an hour-long buff, which is a great one. An extra 5% crit for the next hour and plus 15 all. Love it. Okay. So glad that we found that tucked away there. Alright, here we go. Go ahead and fight this guy right here. Alright, so that means we definitely have to have a Death Knight on each faction. Other than that, you could kind of beat a dead horse and run two zones, run two versions of each character. So if we had to, because you have two potential starting off points, we could, but it is going to lead to some redundancy with our characters, and I don't... Whether or not the redundancy is... Whether or not the redundancy is... kind of go around. Oh, I just missed it. Oh, man. I saw him start to cast it. Stinking jerk. Really missed it. Okay, we got that guy. That is so lame. But at least we're sitting here with this good. He just called for help. I got my searing. Okay, gotta go for it. Actually, okay, we're gonna be slipping into some. I do think we have some plantains right now, though. So that was a chained series of eatings. I think if I continue to have this totem down. And yeah, I eat those plantains. I can avoid drinking the morning glory. It's pretty nice. Set, where are we at? Still just 8. We got no feathers from all those guys. So this is what happened to us. Like, when I read on Wowhead that the drop rate for these feathers is 47%, I call BS. How are you getting a 47% drop rate? I don't think we've ever seen 47%. I mathematically did the drop rate at, what did I, maybe... 25%, I think, is more accurate from what I've seen over time. Okay, set up a new little base here. Alright, so... Yeah, so we have a slight possibility. Let me keep a little running tab. Alright, so we have only one... What we're trying to get to is... Okay, so that gives us like a pally shaman of each. So we have a pal and a shaman. I'm just trying to keep a... And then once we get to Wrath of the Lich King, we have a DK in each for sure. Okay, so that's 2 classes in each. Now we have the flexibility to add one of the vanilla classes in to that if we really want to. Okay, no worries. No worries. Down on here. Thank goodness he died because I just set myself on the global timer. Alright, 9. We are at 9 of the headless feathers. Okay, so I know this is what I talked about last time too, and it's a little bit redundant, but I'm trying to... This is an important number system to kind of dig into here. Then that brings us right to Cataclysm. Cataclysm is great. We did the math. We can get, I think, 5 characters out. And we would want to get 5 base class characters, for sure. So I'm talking like, you know, whatever the most generic of the generic classes are, we want those. So, like, we wouldn't... Alright, so if we go, let's see. We could definitely hit a warrior up with each type. What am I missing? Oh, all my totems just dropped. That's right, I'm gonna move my base. Okay, I think warrior, running a warrior is probably good. We could get a couple warrior specs going. There we go, I got 10. So 10 is gonna give me 100 rep added on to this, so we're at 1980. So we need 1,020 rep. Guns to shout. Alright, so let's say we did... I'm just going to use this as a placeholder. Let's say we did warrior. Let's say we did a hunter. Oh no. That dead watcher. Now I have to be careful. Drop the pencil, I don't want to get cursed. Okay, now I can focus something on if this dude's gonna try to hit that with or not. Come on, mate. Uh-oh, we just... Okay. We just pulled a 2, and this guy raged out. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Heal. Great. Alright, so we managed to pull through that one even though it was a little bit intensive on the mana. What did I lose? Oh, the searing. I'm gonna not even drop that right now. We're gonna let this one be a little bit, yeah, because he's already burned through his mana, so. Alright, cool, we got... There you go. 2 more feathers. 2 feathers, so we're at 12. Not too shabby. Telling you, this Songflower Serenade is a very nice addition to the to our grinding experience. I'm very glad we found that. All right. So what else do we have? All right. So if we did a hunter, that's a good idea. So we do a hunter of each. Okay, and then maybe like a rogue of each. Okay, so warrior, hunter, rogue. Then we already have DK. And let's say we do. Critted in the face. Let's say we do one of the main caster classes. So how about how's about I'm trying to think what I'd rather do. Mage. Not Warlock. That's not going to be one of the first ones I do. Mage, Priest, or... I mean, okay, I guess we'll go Mage. Mage is pretty iconic. Then... what else would we... Then we're on the fence. I could hit up another one of the basic classes, or... we could hit up the other combination of like Shaman Pally to balance those out. Alright, so that's up to 13 feathers. Okay, here's a trio again. Alright, let's go for... Let's do it. Let's go for our trio here. Okay, I'll build my base a little closer. I'm gonna go for it. we're going to end up pulling at least... Well, we just pulled these two. Now, we are going to aggro this Den Watcher that comes out too, so we have to be careful about that. If I hit him... Yep, we just aggro the other one. Okay. Gotta be ready with a stun. Gosh, nice. Interrupted that. He's gonna hit me with it now. Dang it. Now healing is not a great option. Okay, so now we're down just to him. I'm going all offense this time, especially since they just rocked my healing capabilities. Okay, that's not too shabby. Not too shabby of a... But look at that, we just killed 3. Do you see a stinking... I'm drinking a moon juice. Do you see a feather? Because I don't. Yeah, I'm on the fence. Alright, so I guess just to balance it out, we could then go with another Shaman Paladin combo. Just to kind of get that experience going. Alright, then that would also allow us to kick off the expansion part of Cataclysm, which I think we could run one character each. It would be a Goblin and a Worgen for sure. I'm not even addressing the races yet, but that would be Goblin, Worgen. I don't think any new classes came out, so we could hit up another basic. Alright, so we've done Warrior, Paladin, so those are done. We've done Shaman, Hunter, those are done. We still would need Druid, which I think you can have a Druid. Oh yeah, we would need something that maybe both could be. This is if I decide to even go this route. I probably will both jump it around. So if we needed a class that both Warlock, Worgen, and Goblin could be, now we're looking at Warlock, I believe, is the only one that fits that bill. Okay. Let's get this guy over here. What am I making? Mana? Okay. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that we go with Warlock. Okay. Alright, and that gets us to the expansion classes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's Cataclysm. Who are you shooting at? I didn't even see that dude. He was blending in pretty well. Alright, so after that takes us to Miss of Pandaria. Well, that's going to bring us to Monk, Pandaren Monk on both. And we're not really changing the characters or anything. If we were to go like meta like that, we need, obviously, well, not obviously, but you need to get some Pandaren or Pandaria. Like, we're going to go, races are kind of set. Like, we know we're going Blood Elf and Draenei for Burning Crusade. We can do whatever. How many original races were there? 8. So at some point we'll have a little overlap. But when we do our classic, we'll have 5 of the 8 going that way. So Wrath will have to be the 6th of the 8. Okay, we're at 15, so that's 150. So we're at 2,110. Build a new base over here. Okay. So, ouch. All right. So, yeah, that does mean that, yeah, with Wrath, we're going to have to do another one. So that's 6. So we'll still be missing 2 of the races. 2 of the starter races we'll have to mix in. When we get to Miss of Pandaria, it's going to be a panda for each. So that's no chance for the new races. And it'll be a monk for each. So that's not new. Okay, then we hit Warlords of Draenor. I don't think there were any new races or classes for Warlords of Draenor. Okay. So, cool on that. So that means we'll get to hit a 7th of the original classes in. And races. What do I get more damage for? Let's see. I don't know why I'm pulling this guy all the way down here. What does more damage? This is basically a total of 500 damage for 345. This is a total of 600 damage for 370. So, kind of close. I guess the lightning shield is better. If we're looking at it like that. I'm just dropping this one. He's already eaten through my whole stinking lightning shield. Okay. Alright, so yeah, when we get to Warlords, no new classes, so we can go with one of the other original. And we're going to be hitting one of the original races, so maybe we could hit Druid. Druid's hard to have that flexibility. So Warlords of Draenor, we could hit Druid. Alright, so then what we would be missing at this point is Priest. So we'd still have, by the time we get to Legion, we're missing one extra run through. We would also, I guess, we're missing a basic class. Now, Legion is going to have to go with a Demon Hunter play through. It also buys us Night Elf, but we're now doubling up on Blood Elf, so... But that's kind of moot. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, so we're gonna I really have to look and see what's... Yeah, I was trying to look at what are the other considerations. So Wrath, other than playing your faction and your starting zone, there's no real considerations to think about. Like, I don't think there's factions that you join or anything like that. I don't think it works that way. Cataclysm, same deal. It's... Now, Cataclysm, there are different ways you could run that, like last area. Like, you could start with any of the starting zones, really, but it's not... I don't think that's, like, designed... how it's designed. I don't really... It doesn't really work like that. So, I don't think there's really any factions you have to worry about. That's up to 16 feathers. Oh, I didn't even see Homeboy right there. Miss of Pandaria, you get the monk, but yeah, even Miss of Pandaria, like, you're not really choosing a faction now. Oh, crap. And I should have tabbed over. Now he's gonna fall for help. Now it's all about going all in. As I... Oh no, just pulled another one. Okay, gotta get out of here. Not gonna survive that. I just used like every potential boon that I had. Didn't work out for me. Because of that stupid curse. The Deadwood. Alright, I don't even have to do that. I can go try to eat something. Actually, my well-fed buff's off right now. I did kill the leader, so that's cool. I got 15 XP. And I killed one of his homies. It was just too many, and with a aggressor. Alright, so let's eat another one of these guys. What am I still? Oh, I'm still in combat because of the. Why? Who is still in combat with me? I think it's like one of those roaches or something. Come on. What the heck? Well, the curse will be over in like 12 seconds. Is it this cockroach? Yeah, that was it. I was gonna say, it's one of these things. Alright, we'll go ahead and eat that now. Now, and same thing, Warlords of Draenor, I don't think you're picking anything like that. I don't think there's... That's alright, I got my welfare buff at least. But I mean, Warlords of Draenor, to be fair, I have not played through that very much. It's been a long time. I did it. I've done some explorations on achievement runs, and I cleared it once for like the lore master aspect of it, but that's about it. And I only did it on Alliance. I mean, I did some Horde stuff on there, like I said, for achievements. Really, I have. Warlords of Draenor is one of my least... Oh, there we go. I got a Morning Glory dude. Is one of my least explored expansions. Alright, so yeah, somehow we're gonna have to slot in a second set of characters. Now, whether that happens... So we gotta find what's the large... I guess... The only way I can think that we do it is if... I kind of feel like if we mesh it in Burning Crusade, where we run a Shaman Pally... Like an alternate Shami Pally combo. Starting out in the Hellfire Peninsula region. Like after we run those two starting categories... Like, because the leveling up is so high now, like, we're gonna probably be, like, level 30 or 40 by the time we even finish the Ghostlands. I mean, unless I could be wrong, unless they've slowed it down. I haven't been playing retail, but... That's another thing where I kind of just have to feel it out. Come on. Come on, you bozo. Yeah, we're having... This is like what happened with us with the Glee Contessa, where the drop rate, we just hit these wide swaths of time where the drop rate on the Deadwood feathers was so low. And it just slows down the whole run, because that's really... You're getting... You can be getting... We're at 18. You can be getting a huge chunk. If your drop rate's good, you can be getting half your rep from those feathers, but when it's bad like this, like... You're getting 75% of your rep from killing, and that's just so long. That means that we're basically mostly grinding our way 5 at a time. All right, we just hit 19. We're at 20. Let's get back to our base. Alright, so I don't know, so that's about where it's at. If anybody has an idea about the plan that I've just laid out and where would be some consideration I'm forgetting, like for instance, Shadowlands will require us to make at least 4 characters, so at least 2 from each faction. We're going to have to run it that way with Shadowlands because of the 4 factions. So we'll have to run 2 pairs of characters through there. Legion, we have to run through a character of every class, ideally on each faction. Because there are some slight differences. I know it's more or less going to be the same, so, but there are some, like, off the top of my head, I can just say, like, when you're a rogue, this is going to be quite a little clutch of dudes right here. And you pull the whole stinking clutch if you go out. What I'm going to try to do is, with those guys... Come on, man. That was annoying. Okay. Let me get out of there before... I killed one, but before, like, any sort of crazy... One of them hits me with a curse that really makes my life painful. Okay, there we go. Got out of there. They reset. Also, with 2 of them being Avengers. Terrible. That just caused them all to aggro one more time. Okay. Now what we do is drop this again. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Why? And they hit me with the curse. Now I'm screwed.
That's still recharging.
Well, that was just bad luck. I instantly got stunned. And then hit with the curse. And that slow totem caused them to chase me. So, they're so annoying. I thought I could get one, but that was bad luck. Dumb old curses. Just blending in. But yeah, so let me know in the comments if you have an idea about where I could slip another one in. Because we have time before we actually start doing those. Just waiting a minute here. I guess I'm just gonna put this totem down for a minute to heal up. I don't want to eat any of these side things. Oh, we are at 20 feathers though, so that's good. So that's a straight 200. So we're at 2,260. 740 rep to go. Alright, so the first comment on Warcraft lore, that is, a lot of the comments pertain to the War Within, so I try to skip over those, considering I don't know anything about the War Within. And so I want to avoid some spoilers for myself. But I also don't, I don't have any valuable commentary to add to that. If anything that I say meets that category. Alright, so, here, we're going to set up a base now. I'm going to try to get one of these Avengers in. Now we're going to pull this guy. We'll probably end up pulling all 3 again. Yep. And we'll probably get cursed again. Okay. Okay. So we just got that one in. Now it's going to be dicey. Okay, so he enraged, so not my best move. Go for a heal. I don't think you can... Yeah, you can't purge his rage either. As long as I don't get cursed, I should be okay. I should be able to ride this out. Despite his rage. Yeah, we just have to keep an eye out for the old curse. Got him. We got 2 feathers from that set of dudes. And we're just in a few seconds. So after this fight, we can get a little well-fed buff. I'll let that one go. Nice. All right, let's do that and go for our last sun thing. Perfect. Oh, I can get rid of this firewater flask since we're probably not killing those anymore too. And we'll come back for that quest later. Okay. Not too shabby. Alright, alright. Where are we at with our feathers? 22, yeah, just a couple more. Alright, so the top one for the Reddit today says, what do the dwarves in Dun Morag eat? They specify because it says, what they say is, does all their food come from hunting beasts? Is it always snowy, or is the game always set in the winter? And do they import all their food from Loch Lodon and the wetlands? Oh man, triple pack. Uh-oh. I resisted that, thank goodness. Okay. So we are now having to watch for the curse. Okay, good. Nailed it. Alright. Made it to that triple pack. I mean, these are not planned. This is not how I would be like, yes, let's play it this way. But it's what's happening. Okay, we got 1 out of 3 on that one. We're up to 23. I do not want to pull that big clutch of dudes. It's annoying. See, this is a more dangerous way to play. I think it's better when we... Here, we'll grab this single guy right here. Those shaman are also very annoying, by the way. Bonus question, they love their brewing, but you need hops and barley. How are they growing that? This is, I think, a good question. But I feel like they've kind of baked in some good answers all the way. Like, I don't know that this is ever addressed in lore. So, I guess, first of all, does the game always take place in the winter? Well, certainly it seems as though the seasons do not change in this game. So, for whatever reason, either... But it also doesn't make sense that time doesn't move in the game. Clearly, time does occur, as noted by the aging of Anduin. So, I think we can scrap the fact that time exists, but are we somehow playing in a vacuum after each expansion comes out, where we're just in a frozen moment of time? That's a good question. I don't believe that the devs ever developed that. It's not like this is Stardew Valley. Seasons, aside from aesthetics, seasons wouldn't necessarily play a role. Although sure, you could have some cool mechanics based around it. So I think just from a design perspective, it's cheaper and easier to not have to deal with it. And I just don't think you ever address it. You don't ever think about the lore. The seasons are experienced by going to the different zones rather than making them happen through, like, you know, algorithms or whatever. That being said, there certainly do exist places in the world that are high enough elevation that they're basically snow blanketed the whole time, and you could make an argument that Dunmore qualifies as part of that. They don't ever talk about there being any kind of curse or effect on the land, so it's not going to be that. Alright, let's go for this guy here. We're going for a 3-pack again. Ooh, I mean 2-pack. Hello. Just have to be careful when we do this. Dang it, we're about to get hit with the curse. You suck so hard. Did not feel confident in my ability to switch over. I hate you. Alright, we got one feather headdress. We're up to 24. And we got... Look, I hate how quickly they're ready to roll again. Okay, I'm in the vicinity here. I mean, really, I'm just killing time, basically. Until, oh, look at that. A Dark Espadon of the Wolf. That is a pretty solid two-handed DPS with agility and spirit. We don't use swords though, so sucks to suck us. Boo-hoo. We do have one mana potion. Now that we have these better mana potions, we should be phasing those out. Okay, so yeah, like I said, it kind of feels like they answered some of their questions. So that part, now, could they be... They are very close to... Like, oh my gosh, I don't know what is wrong with me. I'll just set up a new base right here. They're very close to those places that they mentioned, the wetlands and Loch Modan. So I think they kind of answered their own question with, can they... What would they do? I think, yeah, you're absolutely right. Setting up... I have to remember to start using those mid-combat. Grabbing... the main reason I hate these guys, it's so hard to hold them over to my little base of operations. But yeah, I think them getting their food, they obviously though they love their beer. Oh, we're past 250 now, so we're at 2,400 rep, 600 more rep to go. It would actually be pretty solid on time if it wasn't for the fact that we also had that other quest to do. That is going to slow us down. I'm going to check and see where we are in the... Oh, they have that too. That's also what hurts us, is that we're melee, and it doesn't matter if you're melee. They have that lightning shield that I put on too. Ooh, highborn footpads. Cloth. agility, cloth, lame. I guess we'll throw out this gun. Gray guns don't normally sell for very much. Alright, yeah, let's check and see. Yeah, so we're about an hour, so I would naturally go another half an hour anyway. And what did I say? We need 250. Yeah, we need about 600 rep. We're probably going to be close to being at that rep mark in half an hour. Close. Not quite there, but close. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess this question is... seems like they kind of have answered all of the things. Yes, you're going to largely beat me. See, this is where we go ahead and we switch over. Now I need to get the Avenger, get him fast out. Okay. Go ahead and drink this potion like we talked about. Oh, he died anyway. But at least... not before I had him quite low. Okay. Good. Not too shabby. As long as I stop any curse, we should be okay. Oh, I'm already cursed. That sucks. I didn't even notice that. So that was good. 2 out of 3. So we're up to 28. Did not even notice that. All right, we can get a well-fed buff right now. Thought I had recently done that. I don't see it. All right, so we do have the Nightfin soup. I guess I'll move on to that. That's actually a pretty good one. That's going to really help us because that increases our mana regeneration nonstop. Yeah, it sounds like they answered all their questions in the post. So the top response says largely meat, importing the grains from elsewhere. You can't see, they said importing the grains from Stormwind and fish from Winterspring. I mean from wetlands. So let me push back on that a little bit. I think you have to remember beer has been a part of their culture for, I would imagine, for a long time, long before they were allied with... I mean, there's no lore that backs this up, because there's no statement about when they started developing a love for beer. But I would imagine it's part of their culture, and they existed for a long time before they were ever in close ally with the human nations, or before Stormwind even was a power in which they could get a lot of their grains. Now, can they get a lot of it now from there? Sure. But that can't just be an end-all and be-all answer in and of itself. There has to be a consistent, strong way that they've gotten grains since before that time. I've got an Avengers situation here again. Oh good, I resisted it, thank goodness. It's too much going on right here for me to... I did get another feather. Okay, we're at 29. One more feather and we'll be able to take another peek at our rep. So yeah, I would say now, sure, why not? They can get some of their grain from Stormwind, but they've got to have another way of getting those grains. I would say just importing it from down the road from the Loch Modan area. Now fish, why would you get that from wetlands? Well, you could, but also you have plenty of fish that you can get right in your own backyard. Just because it's snow, like there's lakes and rivers in Dunmorog, you could definitely get fish from there. I would argue that they do. What else does this top comment have to say? Exchange. What do they do to exchange it? That's fine. They probably have mines. Yeah, and it says also the in-game zones are not necessarily representative of the lore. For instance, the actual Dunmorog region most likely does have some arable land within it. More or less is what it says. And then somebody else says the entire northern slope of Ironforge Mountain appears to be used for farming. That would make sense too. So, there you go. There's an even better answer. In addition to the ones we have said, there are parts of the mountain that are good for farming. Damn. Mission complete. Alright, I don't think we need to dig more into that one because it seems like Reddit has done a good job answering the questions. And even the poster themselves kind of had some good answers. Just going off of it. Alright, so somebody has posted an interview with a dev that says, it looks like Chris Metzen, says the old gods are not actually dead. I don't want to, I'm worried that one might contain spoilers. So I'm not going to get into that one. Oh, they resisted. Death Knight Journey through Mist of Pandaria. So what does a place like Pandaria do to a Death Knight? Is the question. That's interesting. What do they mean? Okay, so he comes from a place of death. Okay, we got another feather. So that brings us to 300, so we're at 2,505. Alright, 495 rep to go. Now, my original thought about this goes to, are they talking about the nature of feelings and Shahs? How is that interacting with the... And I would go beyond this and extend it to the Forsaken as well. How does that, the literal like personifications of your negative emotions, how does that interact with the Shah type of power in Pandaria? Well, but they're talking about it more like this juxtaposition. You come from a place where you're literally from like a Hades type of world, and like everything about your life is death and vengeance, and suddenly, and you know, and ice and snow if we're talking about the Northrend aspect, and suddenly you're in this beautiful land of eternal spring that is about peace and balance and harmony. So the poster is more talking about psychologically. How is this affecting your character as a Death Knight? Does Shah force him to face the emotions that he was trained to suppress? So, rage, sorrow, hatred, etc. That's kind of what I was getting at. Alright, we're gonna take this Avenger down. And he's gonna have a friend, so... How'd you do it? You jerk. Literally, this fattest jerk around. I just use this restorative thing to be like, it cures a magic, curse, poison, or disease. There we go. Every 5 seconds for 30 seconds, because I still had I still have some of these left from like the beginning. And then I was like, you know what? Let me use one of those. Why not? I'm sitting here with them, saving them for like some magical time. Let's use them now. While they could actually do me some good. So anytime I get hit with these curse, let's use this restorative potion. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Right. Did not realize realize things were gonna make it so... Yikes. And I've used a bunch of my resources right now, too. Wasn't ready for that. Oh gosh. Dang it. Got hit with one. And I can't, it's on cooldown for another 37 seconds, so I can't remove that curse right now. Okay. I'm gonna just go with damage. I'm gonna try to out-damage this guy rather than trying to heal my way through that. I keep getting these, like, unintended hacks of killing that I have to work my way through. Alright, I'm gonna go use another one of these. And then... get my heal on. Cool. Okay, got it off. Seems kind of a silly waste. I bet you there's a more powerful place to use that, but I don't care. Alright, I wonder, has your eternal hunger quieted here? Did your DK find more peace or stillness? Also, you're literally spending a big part of your time farming. So yeah, as a Death Knight, you're farming. Very interesting, the silliness. I feel like, in reality, your DK character would probably just be like, nope. They'd give a big fat nope to the whole farming, not gonna happen. But I do think it's an interesting, like, thought process, an interesting question. I don't even want to have this. Like, have any... I need to go set up a new base somewhere else. I'm kind of on the fringes. 31. Okay, boom, got another one. 32. Get you, big boy. Bring you over here. Now I will set up a little mini base, since I'm pulling dudes. Alright, so, and then this other people just say, yeah, it'd be cool to hear some thoughts, and that's kind of how I feel about this. I feel like this is a cool concept, it's a cool idea. Some warlock over there. Fighting. So, it says, I'm my DK's hardcore Pandaria. Kind of was the growing point for him to forgive himself and find purpose for something greater than death. Or greater than him. He is a Horde Blood Elf DK and was able to decide for himself to side with the good guys by the end. So they're kind of making like an RP story. This kind of worked out with my BFA. I don't know what HC. I thought HC was hardcore, but maybe they're meaning it something else, like head character or something. Yeah, so they're just kind of giving a specific... It's really interesting to see someone else having these thoughts, and they're basically implying, I had the same thought. I virtually always main my Paladin in new expansions, but for Mists, let's switch it up and main a DK. And they say they're not an in-depth role player, but they did have a vague idea of the story of the characters. Okay, cool. Good to know that as you play, you have a vague idea of what's going on. There are some games I play like that. Like right now, I am intentionally playing through the Grim Dawn series like that. Because I want to just get a character maxed out, learning the mechanics of the game, because the leveling building process is so complex compared to... I mean, I don't know. It's just different. It's a new style, and there are a lot of stats. So I felt like I just wanted to dive into the mechanics of the game and get a character maxed out before I even focus on the lore, and then settle down to enjoy the lore like a fine wine. I guess I don't want to get rid of those. I guess I'm going to get rid of this jagged axe, even though it's kind of a wash. The dagger's actually probably a little bit less money-wise. Okay, we only have a few minutes left on our great song buff. So I want to walk over there and see if that flower respawns, or kind of just scout the area and see if there's any place where the songflower might respawn, because it's so good. It also goes to show you we've been doing this rep grind for an hour. Yikes. I was kinda... really didn't... Alright. I wanted to get this... 33. I wanted to get this done. I don't see a flower back there, but we can still set up a little base. Okay, so that's a... He's coming after me and not one of my totems, so that's good. Okay. Take it. Also did not get cursed, that's even better. 2v1's okay. Now he's gonna call him, he's probably gonna come running over. We're not out of the woods yet. Okay. I don't like how the Searing Totem only has a 50 seconds. Like, why do you gotta throw off my totem rotation by 10 seconds? Lame. Nice, I like that. Hit on the flurry. Oh, he's an Avenger too, so he did not like the death of a friend. Got a feather. Good. 34. Dang it, that's a healed songflower. That might be the one I had from before. Come on. There we go. I just want you close enough. Just want you close enough to get shot at. Rat-a-tat-tat. Alright, so that is 35. Also, let's eat our final night fin soup. That's great. Okay, so that's also, as we work our way through these, that's clearing out some. Now, all we are going to have are these wind blossom berries for eating. Okay, also, yeah, we're at 35, so that's 350. So we're at 2,640. We need 360 rep. Yikes. Come on, mates. Alright, here's a little clutch of them. 360 rep. Alright. Set my base up. And I will... I don't love that there's 4 of those guys together. There's possibly a way to peel them off slightly differently. Now, this thing might... Oh yeah, it's going for someone right now. Yeah. Okay, eat these side things. Okay. Working my way through. Dang it, I got hit by the curse anyway. Suckers. I've got nothing off cooldown right now either. I've got to go for a lame half heal. Hate it. As I fight the chieftain here. We did make our way through. I did have to go through a lot of my little side things, but whatever. Okay. Alright. Okay, I did have that wear off. That curse wore off somehow already. I shouldn't use the shock because that puts all my shocks on cooldown, but got him. Okay. Got a vest out of that, and that was about it. Alright, let's eat these plantains. I'm not actually going to eat any of those, drink any water, because between the Mana Totem and the Nightfin soup going on, I actually have some pretty solid regeneration right now. Alright, so this just really talks... It ended up being people really talking about their personal experiences. I think, again, it's just one of those things where how do you really... Sometimes you have to bend reality a little bit. You have to suspend disbelief, I guess is a better way of putting it. If you really want to... Let's make a base up here. So our really dope buff wore off. That about that. We'll look around for it. I'm gonna keep working my way around the edge of the lake in case I so that we can maybe find any other kind of flower. Okay. But I don't know, I don't really have a ton of thoughts. I just think it's, it would be like a mind screwer, you know, where you're just like... But it's not like these characters have never experienced that. They are just dead and back now. Like, do you, as a Death Knight, I don't believe you forget your entire past existence. You just would be dull and numb to it, is how I would interpret it. So you would be just doing your job. Just out there doing your job. And I don't know if that's good or sad or bad, but it's kind of like the Forsaken. It's like, no matter how much good you think that you're doing as a Forsaken, ultimately you are a stunted, emotionally stunted person that kind of wants some vengeance and, or I mean, I don't know, like, how does the new council really deal with, like, Kalia, Menethil? Like, are they portrayed as being ultimately vindictive and obsessed with revenge, or, you know, or not? Alright, let's see if I can get this guy. So, do is you hope that those guys don't run. Okay, then we go out here. And we're good. Okay, it's not working at all. Got hit with the stupid curse again. What did I do? Well, at least I killed that one. I might myself die No, I'll use this little whippoorwill thing. That'll help me out a pinch. And when the potions are back off cooldown. Okay, there we go. I can... Now there's no point. My potions are on cooldown, so I can't use this thing. Alrighty. Yeah, so I don't know. You'd have to... I don't know, like, from a lore perspective. It just seems, from interacting and doing quests with the Forsaken, that that's how it goes, that they just don't have the ability to really experience emotion in the same way anymore. Alright, I'm gonna go up here for a little bit of killing. Just get one at a time. Build another little base. And in 26 seconds we'll be off the curse. Yep. I also do have this fire water thing if I wanted to buff myself up a little bit with that. Not the worst idea. Okay, we're gonna wait 3 seconds. Maybe I will use it just to clear the inventory a little bit too. Okay, so place that up there for now. Okay, that gives me 20 minutes of being a giant. We're gonna pull this guy. Will it pull all 3? Yes, it looks like it will. Okay. Buffs are still going good. Mana's a little low. I interrupted that poorly. Can I get a heal off being attacked by 3? Maybe. I did. Okay, good, and that did not trigger a second Avenger because maybe he's like on a cooldown. Maybe they can only trigger it once in their life cycle. Don't know. I resisted, luckily, because my shot was on cooldown, so I couldn't pass another one. Alright, let's get this guy. Alright, so we pulled it off. We did, again, we're really blowing through all of these, little, side buffs we've been collecting in order to make this a more palatable experience, but that's okay. Alright, we lost our Night Fin, it's over, so now let's start eating the Wind Blossom berries. Okay. And what are we at for feathers? 38 feathers. Okay, so that one is a War Within, don't know. I like this one. I've had this thought many times. It said, so this topic is, what would a world revamp look like? So I think there's a couple ways that you can go with this, where we even have to think about what does that mean. So first of all, there's a couple ways that you could go world revamp. We could go a full-on reboot. You could do World of Warcraft 2. You could just do some kind of like revamp where you just say, okay, this is, you know, a new expansion or whatever, and this is just like with Cataclysm, basically, so going the Cataclysm route again. Or adding on to existing expansions in the game and changing things. So I think there's a few ways we could go. So first of all, let's talk about the last one first. So what would it look like if we had if we just expanded the game and used that to revamp the world? Okay, we're at 40. That's 400. So we're at 2,770. We need 230 rep. All right. So how would we pull that off? I think the easiest way is what they've actually started to do already right now with the War Within, which I've long had the idea that they could just expand the world and really do a lot, gain a lot of ground if they just went underground, like Stranger Things, Upside Down style. Just make an entire underground version of the world, or like hidden universe style thing. And they've kind of gone that route in Dragonflight, and now with the Earthen, their little world. So they are trying to go that route. Okay, we gotta be careful here. No, you stinker. Okay, I did use one of those things. So I think you could do that. You could go like other planets. You could. They tried it with Warlords of Draenor to do alternate timeline. Everybody hated that. So that's the laziest way you could do it. And, it's just like a Deus Ex Machina quick fix, and it creates all these problems, namely disrespecting all of the lore and devaluing all of the world building that you've done before that time. Like, I don't understand how all these alternate timeline Marvel blah blah blah, when they do it so much on that, I don't know how that is not more unpopular. Like, the whole Spider-Man multiverse, all that kind of stuff, that does not do anything for me. And I don't know how more people aren't like, ooh, like, we stop with this? I understand rebooting. That's fine. If you've done so much stuff to your world, like, and that's really what happens is so many storylines in the comics are written by different people that they do so much to the world, but World of Warcraft is a smaller world. It's more self-contained, and there are people. It doesn't, it's also a lived-in place, unlike comics. All right. The second thing. What if we did an expansion like Cataclysm and you just totally changed the world? I think you could have a lot of fun with that. And there's no real difference between, not a huge difference between that and, say, doing a World of Warcraft 2. Which is where you essentially, you create some massive event like an Ice Age, just whatever, something like that, as a for instance. And that event changes the way everything about the world interacts, or with World of Warcraft 2, you can make a bunch of time have passed. A new event has happened, as well as additional time has passed. Trying to get out of this without... oh, look, there's that pack of people again. Alright, I'm gonna keep going around this way, because like I said, I was trying to make my way to a spot where I could find some more flowers if we can get lucky. So that's pretty easy. Yeah, you could really change everything. You make one of the expansions end in some kind of great war or conflict. But I do like what people have said, like, make the game about Azeroth again. We're at 42. I think everybody wants that. I think everybody wants something more intimate. Like, we don't need the entire fabric of space and time to be at stake every single time we play. We don't need to find a secret, machinations. Like, it could just be some crap between the Horde and the Alliance. And even paint the heroes as... Like, give the heroes the opportunity to, you know, be like, well, I'm just not picking a side. I've worked with both, or whatever. You know, there's a lot of ways you could go around it. I think you could... and make that part of the central conceit of the storyline, like... this is... How do you fit into this role? Do you... and you know, the factions being Horde and Alliance... And I think they've kicked that around for a while, too. Like, imagine having Alliance Torrent and stuff like that. Like, abandoning your home capital to join the other faction. That could be a cool storyline. Closer and closer to level 59, too, with this grind. Alright, what's that? 44. Okay, do I try to pull this pack? Nah, it's not worth it. I'm gonna speed us up by not pulling these I don't know if that's actually speeding us up or not. But I'm gonna pull him enough away that he doesn't aggro the whole pack from here. And then there's, of course, like, just a straight up reboot. Well, that's essentially like what a sequel would be. It's like what they tried to do with Shadowlands when they did a level squish, and that's very similar in concept. I think that's the least appealing of all of the options. Now, they are saying, though, what could it look like? I think that's a different question. So you have to think about, like, what makes Warcraft Warcraft. So I think you still need massive open world. You've got to have this fantasy trope with minimal technology. Like a fantasy veneer on all of it. It's fine. A complete redoing, a complete revamping could go with different races. You could have different classes. I mean, really, the sky's the limit. So let's see what people say. Alright, okay, it says, with midnight just around the corner, people are pretty excited to see what these updated zones. So they're going to update zones like Cataclysm? Oh no. That actually makes me scared. Because are we going to lose it again? Oh no. Alright, so Deadwood headdress, we're with these we're at 4, so 450. So we're at 2,905. 95. Yeah, we're at 450 with feathers. So 895. So we need 105 more rep. That's it. We're actually getting very close now. 105 rep. There's a large part of the community that's been talking about a possible revamp to the Eastern Kingdoms in Kalimdor. Oh man. So my question, based on the lore, what would you want? I'm just scared if we would then lose all the Cataclysm stuff. Like, I don't know that I want all that. So now I'm worried again. Now if we're just aesthetically changing things around, then sure, I don't care. But if we're removing the quest lines from Cataclysm, and now I can only access those quests by playing in one of the classics, like Mists of Pandaria Classic or whatever, I guess that's what we would do. When we got to those zones, we would go back and play those in that. So it wouldn't be fully off limits. Anniversary might get there eventually too. Just feels like another layer of things we're going to have to fight through to play the game. We can also always go to private servers too. Alright, so we need an even 100 right now. We have 1 feather. I think we'll probably, in this, maybe only get one more feather turn in. I don't know, maybe two. Oh, my well-fed buff wore off. That's what happened here. Okay, that's 2 feathers. We need 95. Let's get another well-fed buff. A big proponent of a revamped saga that's slow and steady. A big time skip. Yes, I think a big time skip. They should be evergreen experience. It says the revamp should not be tied to the expansion or some big event the way that Cataclysm was, but should be an evergreen experience. So here goes that guy with banana. He's just working his way down the. Okay, so we need 90 more rep. We have 2 feathers. Okay, we need 85 rep, and we have 3 feathers. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this one contains. Okay, cool. So if we can get 2 feathers in the next 7 kills, then we are gonna be right there at being done with this little area. We're also 15 minutes over. Gosh, it's so close. Yeah, so this is all just fan. And they say this, whatchamacallit's right around the corner. I thought we were still like a year away from the next expat from midnight. I thought we were a year away. So don't get any stress. Thought I still had a year to catch up and start playing some retail. And now, if there was a way, like through Chroming Time Walking, to play alternate versions of the world Beachstone, that would be cool. They could have that housed in-game. I'd love that. Like, layer it that way. That would solve everything, honestly. Every stinking thing. Have it affect the capitals and all that stuff, too. Gosh, that would be awesome. Just that, I mean, I imagine that would be hard. Also, you'd be further fracturing the player base to have everybody in all of these layers deciding what layer you're on, you know? Alright, I missed one. Okay, so 75 more rep. And we're sitting. Yep, still need those 2. Yeah, screw it. Still need the 2 feathers. Okay, we would need 70 more rep. We can get 50 of that with 2 feathers. Go, buddy. 70 rep, get 50 with 2 feathers. Let's go, babies. Okay. Can we pull it off? I mean, yes, we can pull it off. That's the big question. Alright, we're going in here. I'm going for these 3 guys right here. with that. Nope. Dang it. Okay. Alright. Yikes. Not ideal. Could still use this little... Oh, that Demon Stone thing is on the side. Cooldown too. No! Freaking jerk. Oh good, right before my little restorative thing came in the last second out of the clutch and healed me. Okay, alright, we're pretty good here. I think we also got the at least one feather, maybe two. Come on. Come on. You bozos? Why can't I hit you? Whew. Okay. So where are we at here? We're at 50, that's 500. We are at exactly... That fight took us to the threshold. We are right there now. Alright, so... We're about 20 minutes... We're 18 minutes over where we would normally be for an ep. But... all we have left to do is this Wild Guardians thing. So I knew today's episode was going to go long. I don't want to make an entire extra episode where we just do one quest. So I guess we're going to be going to do the Wild Guardians right now. We're going to go through the tunnel, go out here and kill our 10, then fly back. So that does mean our episode is going to be long today. Let's turn in these bad boys. Don't think we get anything for them. Oh, we do. We get we get XP each time. Cool. That's great. That is going to probably level us up. Love that. It's not nothing either. I mean, we're going to end up getting... There you go. Look at that. Level up. Come on, baby. And we got it. Exactly the amount of rep that we needed. And we leveled up. Okay, so we're going to get it now up to 6%. We only have one more to go. We're level 59, so we're a whole level above our Alliance counterpart. No worries. Now we are neutral with Timbermaw Hold. Okay, where are we at? So we have 208, so I guess ultimately you need 210,000 XP to get that last level. Yeah, I don't know. I would say this whole conversation just stressed me out because now I feel like there is a very solid chance in a year we're going to lose access to the Cataclysm and we will not be onto those Cataclysm quests by then, so I'm a little scared. Alright, this guy... Kern does who turn in both to. So the Deadwood.
Yes, Shaman, what can I assist you with? You walk among us peacefully, though there is assuredly something amiss. I sense something troubling. This totem, I recognize it as one of the Deadwoods, but it is thick with the stench of decay. Whatever foulness has turned our brethren against us is surely present in this object. You were wise to bring this to us, Cleek and Soul. Perhaps through study ritual, we can uncover what it is that pollutes the minds of our brethren. Thank you, friend. Please accept these offerings in exchange for your find.
So some potions and 85 silver, and the Winterfall.
Shaman, you approach us in a peaceful manner, but I sense that you are here on matters that are grave and severe, for both Furbolg and Tauren alike. What have you come to tell us? This thing, it is in the shape of a Winterfall ritual totem, but it has been twisted by forces I cannot begin to comprehend. Whatever taint that has set the Winterfall against us is surely present in this object. Divine wisdom has brought both this and you to us, Cleek and Soul. We will surely study this object intently. Perhaps one day the Winterfall will rage against us no longer. Thank you, friend. Please accept these offerings in exchange for your benevolence.
More potions and gold and a bunch of reps, so that's good. We gained over 10k rep just for that. And let's go to the old spreadsheet here and check off what we have. So, Deadwood Ritual Totem is now going to be done. I messed it up because I changed the order that I was going to do the quests. So I ruined my perfection, my perfectly anticipated boxes. We are now going to need one more box to turn in that last quest. Okay, but pretty even zone. Wild Guardians 3. I'm going to just go ahead and button that up right now so we don't have to mess with the sheet again, because that one's the only other thing that we have to do. Now in here you can talk to 1 or 2 people. There's a dude right here, Gorn One Eye. But he says, yes, I see you. Be on your way. You may have earned the trust of a few, but it will take more than that to prove it to me. Which is lame, because these two are the vendors. And then Mylosh, if you prove that you are a true ally, I might consider training you. So, trainers, vendors. Unfortunately, you have to be at least friendly to gain access to their limited things. What they have is limited, but they are good. But we are not grinding that out. I don't think there's quests tied to them. So we'll double check that at the end of the day. I do not believe there are quests tied to that, though. I will be filtering all quests at some point. Just to double check that we have done specific things. Alright, so now we're going to go over here. We need 10 Berserk Owl Beasts. They're right on a level with the Moon-touched ones that we killed before. They're right in the same area. We need less of them. The only kind of downside is that there just aren't very many. So, can we get all 10 in this area? Maybe. It's going to take us a couple minutes to get out there, but yeah, so I don't know. I think people are generally of the same consensus, like, let's make the story more real, more almost grittier, you know, make it a real interaction with the people that we know about, build up the kind of like trust cachet with the fan base again by, you know, not crapping all over the main characters by making them so cheesy or one-dimensional. I think that's mostly what people want. Like the guy said, or the person said in the post, evergreen, like, I don't need some massive world event, like, let's do a time skip, let's make things naturally occurring. However, I don't know that any of those changes have to happen now. I think a World of Warcraft 2 would be more appropriate. I'd say get through this World Soul trilogy that we're working about, and then button this game up. Switch it over. This is what I would like to see. Switch it over to rather than continually changing the game to making it more and more unrecognizable, create an indefinite, like Diablo 4, seasonal kind of thing within the game that affects different mythics, and every now and then, if you wanted to, you could drip out a new dungeon or raid. Focus on the PvP, focus on some esports related type of things. You know, make it competitive in that way, but really then shift your focus so that you, with very little management, you can allow people to still exist in this world and do their thing, and still make a drip of money off of it, and from people like me too. Well, then you pivot over to a World of Warcraft 2, where you do a massive time skip, revamp the world, revamp the allegiances within it, and kind of start over from there. You know, you wouldn't even need to have necessarily 2 continents at drop if you didn't want to. Heck, parts of some continents could be destroyed. I mean, you could have a massive time skip if you really wanted to, where the, like, Pangea style, the world, it's so far in the future, things have been really reshaped, and the things that we are existing in now are legend. I mean, heck, that could even be cool. You could find like cool snippets throughout the game of legendary things that the player character did. That would actually be kind of cool. Like you're in the lore books. Alright, so we're looking for these berserk owl beasts. They're kind of tucked away, it looks like, in most likely either a cave or the mountains themselves. Over here there is a cave right there. Oh, that's not the right cave though. So, I do think they mingle. It does look like they're densely packed right here. I think I aggroed onto me. It's because he pivoted direction and then full speed, run speed, beeline toward me as part of his natural pathing. That's dumb. It's just dumb. Alright. So here we're in the area. This is where we were fighting the Moon Touched before. Can we get lucky and have 10 of them spawned in? It's pretty difficult. Wait, there's a Crazed. We don't need that kind. Crazed. Moon Touched. Crazed. Okay, so far, no good. Moon Touched. So this is the problem with this quest, is there's a Berserk one. I'm pretty sure they share, there's a second Berserk. Pretty sure they share...
I'm out of range.
...spawn points. So... it's kind of some RNG, basically. These are going to be spread enough apart that I think we can afford to kind of go all in. Okay, they do enter a Berserk mode. It makes sense. They're called Berserk. That's alright. I'd rather have that than some of the other mechanics you could have. So glad we're done with that grind. BT dubs. Okay. 1 down. 9 to go. 9 mobs to go and we're done with Felwood. Here's the second one right here. Bring it back over to my little base. I can't help it. We need this one too. I'm just worried that it was gonna aggro over. Alright, we got a roasted quail. Might as well eat that to get our spirits back up. Oh, so these are some good potions. So now we've even got upgraded versions. That's the major ones we were already on, but now we have to dump these superior mana potions too. Alright, so we need to find 8 more of these dudes. That is where we're at. That's where we're at right now. Find 8 more. That's a Moon Touched up there. So it does look like they can spawn up on around this mountain. Okay. Good to know. That's a Crazed. This is like a way of walking over the mountain to get to this little cave area. Hidden Cove. Let's see if I can do it without dying. Yeah, I didn't even take fall damage. He says before taking fall damage. Okay, so this is that little cave we walked through when we were fighting the Moon Touched. Looks like it's all Moon Touched right now. 3, but oh no, dang it. Don't get stunned. Don't get stunned. Okay. Alright, so they hit me with that. So there was none back there. So bad luck on the spawns back there. Wish I had a hot. Be useful. Another Moon Touched. So we found those 2. And then now, there we go. There's a Berserk. Yeah, I wanted you. Here's our 3rd one. Okay. Alright. 3 down. But we've already cleared like more than 30% of the space, so it is a little sketch. I mean, we can go peek down there too, but if we get that desperate, things have already gone pretty poorly. Come on, come on. These guys are pretty tough, to be honest. I feel like I'm attacking like a snail. Okay, 3 down, 7 to go. There's another berserk right there. Up that bad, right in the face. Pull him over to our little base. This is good. We are 40% now. We will need 6 more. Okay, this is a little low. Nice. So that's a blue feathered necklace. That starts a different quest. We actually want to keep that one in the bag because that starts the next quest in this chain. Alright, so let's continue to look for these guys now. Yeah, guarding secrets is a real part of the chain. We do want it. Don't know. There's a berserk right there, so this will be our halfway point. Oh, buddy. Got at least one of those going. Go. These guys are just so tough. And then when they enter the rage, I feel like their berserk mode is crazy. Come on, come on. Alright, so we are half done. That's 5. And we find another 5, or are we gonna lose our mind? Touch down there. Okay, I don't think I see, according to Questy anyway, there's no spawn points right there of the berserk, so I'm not gonna hunt them there. We're crazed. Moon touched. Okay, let's go navigate our way down here to the other side of this little basin. Okay, moon touched. A trio of moon touched. There's a berserk. Cool. Here's number 6. Now what will happen I believe is that we're basically killing them, and then a certain percentage of them, there's another berserk over there, so that's good. We'll be at 7. We'll respawn as berserk. Ooh, is that 2 berserk? Yeah, so I'll pick up my whole base and move it over there. But that'll get us to 8 to 10. It's good. I just gotta hit him with some offense because
I can't carry anymore.
We got another one of these blue feathered necklaces. Okay. I guess I'll drop this little dagger for this egg. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and eat a wild berry. What wind blossom I mean. Oh, I can toss the salves because we are now no longer going into the Cenarian territory. Buys me another spot too. Alright, 4 to go. And I have 2 right on the radar. So, pretty sweet. Although we are almost out of the entire little loop. Oh, there's a 3rd. Awesome. Okay, so it's just going to be finding the last one. Okay. Now, I don't know if this guy's going to... He might aggro on. Sure is. Okay, so now we got to go all out. What? You jerk. So he just came diving in with full force. I'm gonna go attack your totems like a little jerk. Nice, love that crit. Love it. Again with the
anymore.
necklace, man. I mean, I could just accept the quest, but... Okay. Alright, so... Let's find that third guy. There he is over there. Or this will be our 9th one, rather. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back over to my base. So then we're just gonna really need to find... number 10. Let's see what we can get going here. And I live. I think so. I can be the cow that lives. Okay. Got it.
I can't carry any more of those.
Every single one, it wants to drop it every time. Okay, we are only killing one more, so... Oh, I just healed my stupid totem. What a ding-dong. Alright, so we gotta go find... I want to heal up. This thing is ready here. I didn't even know you could do that. Alright, so now we gotta find our last one. We have one Berserk Owl Beast left to find. So far, the RNG gods were relatively lenient with us. But what will this last RNG? Will we be able to find one more little moon touched? We've done the circuit and they're not there. So we can either... Oh, what is this guy? Oh, Winter Saber Trainer. Alright, so we can either go make a run around here. I guess we'll go on the fringes and see if one has spawned in the time it took us to kill those 9. I'm not optimistic. And then we can go run to the south where there is some other spawn points. Yeah, see, these are all moon touched right here. Another moon that's crazed. Aggro me. I didn't. Crazed. There we go. We got a final berserk. Heck yeah, baby. Okay, and I think our materials are processed here. Alright, so like I said before on the other episode, this one's gonna be a little bit long. And I think we're just over 2 hours right now if I look at my... Yeah, 2 hours 10. So this would be about 2 hours, 15-minute episode. But kind of makes up for one of the shorter ones I had earlier in the week. I'm not even going to loot that one. Leave that one dead in the snow. Okay, so now we're going to go march down to Everlook with the sole purpose of traveling to... using the flight path and going back to Bloodvenom Post. Go to Bloodvenom, turn in this Wild Guardian 3, and that's where we will log. On the next long play, we're going to be doing Ajara. Ajara is a very, very short zone. There is some walking and grindiness to it. So I do anticipate it taking 2 episodes per character. So that's still pretty short. That means we'll get one on Thursday and probably wrap our Alliance run a bit over the weekend. And then most likely already be halfway through it by this time next week. So I will be done with Ungoro today. I forget, there was an extra quest or so that I wasn't planning for. And I watched some football yesterday, so kind of took out some of my free time. Those 2 things led me to be at the very end, but I'm at the very end. I just have to do It's Dangerous to Go Alone on both accounts, and I'm done. So that'll definitely get done today, 100%. We will continue reading Warcraft Duraton. It's been pretty good so far. I have enjoyed it. It's pretty well written. So, and I'll also continue Assassin's Creed. We're gonna start I think Assassin's Creed 2 playthrough. I just finished the second sequence, and I believe I unlocked Monteriggioni, so most likely I'll do a collectible run where I 100% all the collectibles in and around the Monteriggioni area. That'll happen Tuesday, and we'll get the next 2 chapters, which are, I think, going to be chapters 4 and 5. Let me look at my playlist on the actual channel. Yeah, so over the next few days, that's what you'll see. If you want to see me, check out the Patreon. If you want to see the Assassin's Creed 2, I'll do the collectibles around Monteriggioni. I'll 100% that area, and I'll read chapters 4 and 5 on Duraton before you see me next on the long play, where we will kick off Ajara, then hit chapter 6 of Warcraft Duraton. I believe there's 30 chapters in that book, but they're all pretty short. And then, like I said, we'll get to that Ajara. Meanwhile, I will be starting Blasted Lands, probably today. At least picking up the prep work for it. There is a little bit of Ajara Horde. Horde, I don't know. I really, when you look, like, the quest is just not a lot. One other thing that is going to make us take a whole episode is this. You have to go all the way out to Duke Hydraxis and complete Poisoned Water and Stormers and Rumblers. The following quests he gives after that, I believe you cannot engage with until you're running Blackrock Depths and Blackrock, until you go into Blackrock Mountain. There is a point where we will have to grind out the Hydraxian Waterlord's rep over and over again. That's going to be an endgame kind of thing that we do. There are some quests tied into that. I think ultimately you just get some stuff that gives you fire resistance. But it is technically quests, so that will be part of it. I mean, technically we have quests to max out the rep with the Bloodsail Buccaneers. So there's just some stuff that's so grindy and so tedious that's endgame that once I'm going to bottle all that stuff up for the end, and by the time we hit there, I'll be switching over. I just don't want any main lore beats to be missed before we start shifting our focus over to Burning Crusade. But once we get to the part where it's like we're just grinding rep for the Bloodsail Buccaneers, I will winnow it down and only do it on one character. We'll pick one character of the 4 level, what will be level 60s. I mean, she's 59, the other one's 58, but they'll be 60 soon. So we'll choose if I want to work mostly on my mage, my druid, the paladin, or her. And it's just going to depend. I don't know. They all have their pros and cons. And I'm not. Most likely it's going to be one of the 2 humans because of that 10% rep gain bonus. So if we're being real, it's going to probably be the mage or Gleekantessa. And normally I would just say, okay, we'll just make it Gleekantessa. If it wasn't for the fact that paladin is such a pain in the butt. This could become part of it, but I don't care enough to keep that there. Alright, I will sell all of this stuff. I guess I could have kept the Wicked Claws. They actually do sell. Yeah, these are 50 silver each, and they vendor for a gold, so no point. We do have some, oh yeah, let's sell that too. We do have some, cloth to turn in too. We just have 1 set, but we are going to have to go to Undercity for that before we start the next episode. Alright, let's turn in our last quest. We got it wrapped up.
Hard work is something I have great respect for, adventurer. Now we can move forward with our plans for Winter Spring.
Alright, so he does not have a quest, but it was basically guaranteed that this blue feathered necklace was going to drop once you get to this stage of the quest. It always does. As you saw, it was like a 50% drop rate. So that does kick off the next chain. It's considered a Winter Spring chain, though, so we won't be getting to it for a little while. Alright, everybody, I thank you for joining me on this adventure. If you like it, continue to watch it. Like, subscribe, engage with me, tell me what you want. Make some comments, tell me what you want me to talk about when we're doing these grinds. All of it, I'm willing to always improve and grow. I have a ton of fun doing it for you guys, and I hope that it provides a little background commentary to your play, to your commute, to your life, whatever. and that you enjoy it. Check me out on the Patreon too if you want to get even more content and support me by checking out the Assassin's Creed if that franchise is cool to you. I do a lot of stuff with that as well. All right, let's pat ourselves on the back. We have another episode and a whole another zone in the pipe, 5x5.